Hi guys, and welcome to another kit review. Okay, so today we're having a look at a kit from Miniart. Kit number is 35504, and as you can see, it is their Lithuanian City Building in 1/35 scale. And this kit does say it includes German and Soviet posters, 135 included. Okay, so this kit came out in 2006 and has now been discontinued by Miniart. I picked it up on special for around $20 Australian just recently. I'm pretty sure it's still available around the world, so if you're interested, yep, this may be one for your dioramas. Let's have a look see. Okay, so as you can see, it is a double-story building, obviously a corner building because the door's on the corner. It looks like you do get 2 light poles with it as well. It is technically damaged, but as far as the diorama is concerned, there's no reason why you can't do something with this damaged wall, even blank it off or whatever, and make this into a presentable, undamaged building. Okay, so that's the front cover. Let's have a look at the sides. So as usual, on the sides, Ukrainian, Russian, English. Okay, model is 14 and up, usual warnings, etc. Not suitable for whoever's. Miniart models in the Ukraine, that's their address. This is the regular price in Australia for this kit, 33 bucks. Okay, I picked it up for a lot less than that, 20 something. It was on sale. I thought, will I, won't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, so let's have a look at the other side. So as you can see, this is a view of the actual model. All right, side view and front view, so to speak. It does show 2 lampposts. This is an East Prussian city building. I believe that's discontinued. And a Ukrainian village house. That's discontinued as well, unfortunately. So Miniart has a long history of diorama buildings, etc. And unfortunately, they come and go. So like I said, this one's been around since 2006. So it has been around for 14 years, which is not too bad. Okay, so that's pretty good going for a model kit. All right, so let's have a look and see what's inside the box. As usual, one big bag of plastic sprues and vacuum formed. Okay, this is their poster sheet, which I believe is just printed paper. Doesn't appear to be a decal. And instruction sheet. Alright, so that's what's in the box. Let's get rid of it. Let's have a look at the instructions. There is no sprue layout on these instructions, just a copy of the box art, and then straight into constructing the window frames, the street lamps. Okay, there is no clear parts, so if you've got plastic left over from your brand new toothbrush or something from the supermarket that had was contained in plastic, clear plastic, you can use that to fill in the blanks, so to speak. Then we just continue with the construction of the windows, etc. Window frames. The walls go together, side walls go together. This is the front wall going together, and you will have to make some angled cuts. Okay, 45-degree angled cuts, which is tricky and does take a little bit of care to create, but it's not impossible. Okay, and then we get to these parts. Now these parts are the upper wall sections of the top of the building. Okay, so they're fairly straightforward, easy put togethers, and then the whole kit and caboodle goes together. You got side walls, the front of the building, which is actually on a corner, and the main side of the building. Okay, and then after that, as you can see, that's the top of the building, individual wall units and grills, and then you're just putting all the windows into the frames, etc. So, and the balcony on the front. Putting the windows and things in, that's where you have to be careful, because this is a vacuum form kit and you have two halves. If the windows don't fit properly, you don't have much scope for sanding down or making them fit. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky, fitting the windows. Okay, and that is the instructions. Fairly straightforward, fairly basic instructions. Okay, now what else you get with this is these. Alright, so these are, I'll put that aside, a series of posters, propaganda posters, German and Russian. There looks to be the usual attention citizens, if you do this you'll be shot kind of things. These posters look very large, extremely large, but then never having seen the real posters in actual life, perhaps they were this big on the sides of buildings, I'm not sure. That is something that you'd have to use an internet reference for. As a comparison, here is my 35th scale French officer standing next to a poster, so perhaps they are wall posters, right? To me they look a bit big, but perhaps they were that big, who knows. Okay, so that's that. I'll give you a shot of that one. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual kit itself, starting off with the injection molded parts. And as you can see, you do get 4 sprues exactly the same. Okay, so this is all your window frames, your balcony, and your lamppost, of which you get 4 of those. Okay, so plenty of parts to play around with. Alright, you will have extras for your spares box, which is not always a bad thing. Okay, so now what I've noticed with a lot of the Miniart buildings kits is this flash. There is a lot of flash. I'll turn that over because it'll actually show up better on this side. There's a lot of flash on the windows, window frames, etc. Okay, you can see there's flash on some of these parts here. It's not too bad, but there is a bit of flash on the brackets, etc. This is your post for the lamp. It does have flash on here. So yes, there is a fair bit of flash and a fair bit of cleanup on these window frames, etc. I mean, I love the detail of this grill work, is beautiful, but the fact that there is flash and things on the windows, that's just annoying. Okay, but can't do much about it. It is just means taking a lot more time to fix these up. Okay, so that's, as I said, one of 4 identical sprues. There is flash on the base of the lamp, although the detail is really nice. So like I said, I do like the grill work. Okay, and because you do get spare ones of these, you can use them in other dioramas as well. Okay, so that's the main sprue of the injected. Let's have a look at the vacuum formed. Alright, so actually I'll turn that way around. Doesn't really matter. Okay, as you can see, these are the side walls. Okay, right, nice brick detail. There is a little bit of cleanup required, just one or two spots and things like this. Right there, that's not a bullet hole, although it could be. It's more a vacuum formed side effect, so you do get little pips and things, although they're not evident on this one. You do get little pips on some parts which will need to be cleaned up, and little indents which do need to be filled. Okay, so that's one sheet. Let's have a look at this one, which is exactly the same. This is just your sidewall. Really, really nice brick detail, very fine. So once that's painted up, and you could paint these bricks in a light stone color or a red color, doesn't really matter. Every region had its own colored bricks. Okay, there is no internal flooring, so this is the internal part. So there's no internal flooring in this building, so that's something that you would have to build up yourself, or if you are going to have this as a destroyed building, you're going to need to have a pile of rubble on the ground floor. Okay, so that's that one. So you have several parts in this kit. This is another one of the sidewalls. Okay, this is the, let me see if I can show it to you, that wall there, which has a destroyed window on it. Okay, it does have bullet holes, etc., but again, really nice detail, and not really any of the obvious vacuum form bumps and pits that you see in some other kits from Miniart. So it just takes a bit of care to get around the brickwork, and you'll find when you put these two halves together, you will probably need to fill where the bricks are. Okay, that is normal for these kits, unfortunately. Fair bit of cleanup work on these. Okay, so next we've got this one. Okay, this one here is your roof parts. Okay, that is those parts up the top there, which are all individual sections, and the grill work goes in between. Okay, this is here just a bit of molding around the building that can be cut out quite easily. Fairly straight lines. It's not too hard to cut straight lines, it's only difficult to cut those curvy bits there, but that is just taking time and patience. Okay, so next we've got the front of the building. So this is the front doorway, this is your balcony doorway. Now where's my Frenchman? Okay, so presumably he is a full-size Frenchman, and that is a very big door. Okay, so I can understand that if this is a bank building or an older building, they did go for some very big doors. However, this one could be a little bit too big. So that's something I've noticed with Miniart kits. Their front doors, their doors, okay, can be too big, right? Do appear to be quite tall. I did a review of a ruined village house, and the front door on that was the same as this. Probably a 2.5 meter door, which is unusual for a village house. Most of the time village houses had fairly low doors or average doors because you need to keep the heat in. Commercial buildings, yes, I can understand. Nice big tall door, but that's your balcony door. And I think that could be just a little bit too big. Anyway, let's put him aside for a second. Sorry, Shark. And let's look at the detail. So again, really nice brick detail. A couple of points that need cleaning up with, you know, excess created by the vacuum forming. That could be a bullet hole, but that is actually a dip in the wall created by the vacuum form. So a little bit of cleanup, but not too bad. This is actually a better looking kit than a lot I've seen from Miniart. There's not too much to clean up as far as pips and things like this on the actual vacuum forming. Okay, so that is the front of the building. So next what we have is the main side of the building. Okay, and this has got some bullet holes, etc., that could be fixed up. All right, they do look like bullet holes, except that still has a little mark in the middle. The windows are always a tricky part. There are a couple of little pips on the wall that will need cleaning up, especially along here. Just a bit of sanding and they'll disappear. And around these window edges, you'll see there are some pips and things, and I'll give you a close-up of that anyway so you can have a look at it. But overall, the detail, once that's painted up, will come up really nice. And the last one that I have to show you is just the internal wall, and that is exactly the same. Really nice detail. There is no flooring, so these parts here, which look like they are for internal flooring, will need to be filled if you are going to display the back half of this building. But apart from that, really nice. Nice that they've got the angle on it. Should make it fairly easy to put together. Okay, so this is actually not a bad Miniart kit. There's very little cleanup on the vacuum form, a fair bit of cleanup on the injection molded parts, unfortunately. And there you have it. That is Miniart's Lithuanian City Building in 1/35 scale. Okay, as I said, came out in 2006, has been discontinued, but it's still available. Okay, it's still available in Australia, so there's no reason why it couldn't be available in the rest of the world. Alright guys, so I hope you got something from this review. As usual, I did get something from it. I now know the challenges that are ahead putting this building together, and they don't seem that bad. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching, and until next time, take it easy, and I'll see you later.